Hi Pisces, welcome to your April 2018 love reading. It's Raina here. Well, this might be a little bit silly that I'm doing this, but I'm going to do the whole reading over again simply because I referred to you as Taurus at the beginning. And had it been somewhere in the middle, I don't think it would have been as bad. But because it was starting the whole reading, I just feel like it could cause confusion. I've already gotten people, oh, is this for Taurus or is this for Pisces? So, whatever. I want to make it very clear what is going on. So, here it goes once again. And the heart of the matter of this reading is the Four of Wands. And this is a card of happy home life, domestic bliss. Now, as I pointed out before, because of the nature of these readings, this is in question, okay? So something is going on that makes this threatened in some way, or if you're single, you're longing for this. But of course, there are always going to be contradictions that may cause you to want something, and yet the actions that you're taking kind of are contrary to making that happen. And as I go forward, you'll see what I mean. This is what crosses the situation. This is, so I'm reading this as a reversed card. The Empress card is the Earth Mother energy. So anything that's associated with a mother, somebody who is a mother, is working against you. The feminine principle, this is a card connected to Venus and the signs Taurus and Libra specifically. But the whole seductress would come into the picture. I called it the shameless hussy card, because it's like the feminine principle gone amok, where somebody is, a woman is using her feminine wiles to get what she wants. And there's nothing wrong with being feminine, there's nothing wrong with being sexy, but it's that manipulation where the person is really out to get something else. I mean, the Empress card is about love, but this is love turned upside down. So basically, if you look at the Four of Wands and you look at this idea of the happy home and you look at this Empress card, this person could be an outside person who is threatening your marriage. And so whether it's that your husband or partner is having an affair with somebody and that is creating a rift in your home, whether it is that, I mentioned the baby mama drama, that there's, and it may not be that your partner is going along with it, but this person is trying to get their hooks into him. And I am saying him and her because the Empress is very clearly a feminine energy. And I'm talking about how it affects the family life. And by the way, I want to make this very clear. Not only am I not putting down men, but I'm also not putting down this character, this shameless hussy, because a lot of times this person gets dumped on. Okay, when there's a high-profile extramarital affair, everyone condemns the other woman, and they never put the blame on the person that is breaking their marital vows, or cheating on their current partner. And it's not about dumping on men either, but it's saying if you're in a relationship, you're the most culpable. You're the most guilty party. The other person isn't innocent, because if they know that they're cheating with somebody, then they have to accept part of the karma or the blame also. Everyone does, really. And I don't even think you should accept blame. I just think that my point is that I'm not here to vilify somebody. I'm just here to talk about these characters. And So let's look at the root cause of all of this. The Hermit card is connected to the sign of Virgo, so that may be your partner's sign. I don't know. You, Pisces, this is your opposite sign. And it's interesting because, so even in timing issues, we had a full moon in Virgo at the very beginning of the month of March, I should say, because this is supposed to be for April, but I'm recording this on March 8th. So my mind is thinking of actual March, but at the beginning of March, there was a full moon in Virgo. And so this would have been your 7th house of committed partnership. And the full moon can kind of shine a spotlight on what is happening. So maybe something came out about the situation that made it clear to you that this was happening. But if we look at the Hermit card just in general, the Hermit card is about doing soul searching. And by the way, one thing that I noted the first time when I did this is that you could be the Empress very easily. You could be using your sexuality. If you're, I don't know if you're a man, but if you're a woman, you could be using, yeah, I mean, I guess a man could do these, you know, have the same motivation, but I'm looking at it as a seductress, okay? And you could be using this in order to feel good about yourself, whether or not you're in a relationship. So you may not be cheating on anybody. That's why I said at the beginning, you may be single, but you may be kind of counteracting what you really want. If you really want this happy home, this, you know, I don't want to say perfect marriage or anything like that, but this wonderful union, and yet you are sleeping around, for instance. And this is not moralistic, but it's like you're doing something that kind of guarantees that you're not going to get what you want, because it'll probably complicate your life, A, and suck the life out of you, B, because the very action that you're taking makes what you're looking for, longing for, even more unlikely to occur, just by its very nature. And so this is kind of the paradox that Pisces people who are engaging in this behavior are going to find out, is that you don't find love through seeking it in sex, because it's just, these are two different things. And you don't feel good about yourself, because that could be like, I want to feel desirable. The Empress is about sensuality. I want to be this seductress, because then it'll mean that somebody wants me. And if they want me, that means I'm lovable. And it doesn't work that way either, because they may want you, but what do they want you for? So the Hermit card is about seeking something higher. And so all of that is in question then. All of your assumptions, all of your past behaviors may be, you know, thrown into the air, and you may feel supremely confused. And if you are the person who is being cheated on, you may be questioning what you're doing in this relationship, which is a good thing to do. And then we have, as the spiritual guidance, the Knight of Cups. This is the card of somebody making an offer. And an offer of love, you know, because of the Cups association. It is a card that I believe is connected to Pisces. As I read the other day, I knew that Page of Cups was connected to Pisces, but I was surprised to learn that this is too. But in general, water sign energy, Scorpio, Cancer are the other water signs. Basically, what can be happening here is that it could be saying if you want that happy, you know, warm family home life, you have to wait for your knight in shining armor. You have to wait for that person who's offering you love. That is the thing that you need. You don't need anything else, because the Empress card in reverse can also speak to an overly materialistic mindset where somebody is just very crass in their ability to appreciate the finer things in life. So in other words, they may tend to value things that are materialistic over actual love. The Empress card in the upright position is all about love, is a romantic card. But again, when it's reversed, it's perverted. You know, something about that quality becomes tainted in some way. The other thing about the Knight of Cups that's very important is being able to realize and appreciate this person, because there may be somebody in your life right now who really has feelings for you, and you're going after the bad boy. You're going after the person who is unreliable, who is dangerous. I'm not talking about physically dangerous, but who is kind of unavailable. And this is a self-love thing, because when you really love yourself, you will never be attracted to that type of person unless you don't care about settling down. The Four of Wands is all about settling down. So this is exactly what I'm talking about, is that the Knight of Cups is that person who will woo you with poetry, who will, you know, write a song about you, give you some flowers. But they are coming from a heart space. They're not coming from their ego. They're not coming from some kind of, they're not coming from lust. They're coming from this higher octave of what relationships are about. And if you're the kind of person that has a hard time receiving love because you don't feel worthy, then you will push that person away in one way or another. And that's what's sad, because you may get an offer. You may have either somebody has already told you that they care about you and you're just kind of like whatever, and you tell your girlfriends, oh, he's a nice guy, but he's like my brother, or something like that. And of course, there are going to be nice guys that are like your brother, but there are also people who are respectful and they can see the good in you, and you don't want to be a member of a club that would have you as their member, or however that goes. You're, naturally suspicious of anybody that actually respects you, and that would be if you have, low self-esteem. So the spiritual message is, look at that aspect of your life. Are you willing to allow love into your life when it comes, when it presents itself? And if you find yourself in an affair yourself, is it really more like fast food? Because the Knight of Cups is soul food. And I'm not talking about greens and cornbread. I'm talking about, somebody who truly cares about you, not because they think you're attractive, but because they really feel this strong emotional connection to you. And you really need that at the end of the day as a water sign. That's particularly important to you. So what the advice is, what is coming in, I should say, in the near future, is the Seven of Pentacles. So I think that if you are in a position where you are experiencing somebody doing this to you, Maybe you are feeling that your relationship, like you have to be patient with, maybe it's a husband who is having an affair, or the father of your child dealing with an ex, maybe the mother of his child, and feeling like you're competing with this person, or they're trying to get him back, or he's actually having a relationship. You may be patient because you love this person, and you're trying to see if there's anything that, if there's really something there. The Seven of Pentacles is about assessing the progress of a situation, and about being patient in the process. The problem is that if you're the one that is kind of playing the field, you may be patiently hoping that you get that offer, like the Knight of Cups, but it's not something that can come until you change your tactics. With the Seven of Pentacles, as I would say, as advice, just as common sense advice, it'd be saying that take your time when you meet somebody and don't jump the gun, because when you get when you have that sense of unfoldment of the relationship, then you can see whether or not it's worthwhile to go deeper into it before you invest the time. And that can also weed out the people that are opportunists, who are just looking for a good time. And of course, when you're in a good, healthy relationship, it is a good time. But it's not, when I say a good time, I mean a temporarily good time. When there's really no strong connection beyond the physical. And the outcome is the Ten of Cups. This is the card of marriage, of, joining forces, family harmony, happily ever after. This is a card of emotional fulfillment. The number 10 is a card at the end of the it's like a card of completion in numerology. And it's interesting because the number 10, if you reduce it, it becomes a 1. So that is a card of beginnings, right? But the 0 is kind of that unknown quantity. And so the 0 can point to when you're ending something, what is going to come in its wake. And that's really the important thing. Because when something is toxic and needs to be ended, nature abhors a vacuum, and something will replace it. And it could be 10 times better than what it was before. So definitely a positive outcome to this reading, whatever your personal situation is, Pisces. And I'm also picking a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle, or I have picked a card. Wisdom of the Oracle deck, Colette Baron Reed. And for you, I got Poised. I'll show you what it looks like. It's kind of like a fairy type of a thing. And it looks like she's reaching for the stars, but then she's also, yeah, she's reaching for the stars. I really like the illustrations in this. There's kind of a whimsical quality. So I'll read from the booklet again. And thank you to all the people who, it was just a few people who pointed it out. I'm sure some of those people are probably saying, hey, she deleted the video and I was in the middle of it. I don't know if it gets totally deleted at that point, or if you get to watch the whole thing. So the meaning of this card is being ready, bringing something to light, being at your best, confidence. You can be assured that you're ready for anything right now. You know what you need to. Your skills are sharp. You've come to this place armed with wisdom and knowledge, and you sense a new phase of your life about to begin. People respond to your confidence and trust you. This is an auspicious time to begin new things. And for those of you who are watching in March, the new moon in Pisces has not happened. So I guess I should say happy birthday to those people born in March, because I'm actually posting this only in the second week of March. So happy birthday to you, and there is a new moon in your sign on the 17th of March. People respond to your confidence and trust you. This is an auspicious time to begin new things. I already read that. Now, this is the relationship message. When you're confident and happy in your own skin, you're ready for deeper, more intimate relationships. You have nothing to prove right now. You're completely yourself and can handle anything. Love, friendships, and harmonious new connections are all present now or are coming in. You're ready to give and receive from the heart. This is a beautiful place to be. So that's kind of like, I realize now that when I was making those connections with the Knight of Cups, I was thinking of that. You're ready to begin to give or receive love. And I wanted to talk about that Knight of Cups. And one of the observations I made in my prior video for this reading was that when I don't usually pick oracle cards when I do tarot readings. But one thing that I've noticed is that sometimes there's a phrase that I read in the oracle card book that really speaks to one of the cards and gives me more information to share with you. And that is where I got that about being able to accept love. From seeing that prompted me. And so when I did the reading this time, I just said it without remembering, what made me think to say it. And it's so true. Even though they're saying, I am ready to give or receive love, I go back to that Knight of Cups. Are you? Are you ready to, because this is a spiritual message, the Knight of Cups. And it means that it's something that you're working with. And for sure, this is true of Pisces. That they are working with the idea of being worthy to have a real relationship, a well-rounded relationship, a relationship of mutual respect, where you are not treated like an object. This can be, a man can be treated like an object. The Empress card in reverse can be a woman who sees a man as a wallet, as her plaything, if she's the sugar mama. I mean, seriously, there are sugar mamas out there. Those are not real relationships. Those are business arrangements, or whatever you want to call it. Those are not love relationships. They're relationships. I shouldn't say they're not relationships. They're not love relationships. That's not what love is. And if the two parties are down with it, that's on them. That's fine for them. But if you're looking for love, you have to embody it and accept it. Be willing to accept it, but not being willing to accept imitations. Okay, Pisces? But it looks like, according to this reading, it's happily ever after. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. And if you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below. I wish you all the best. Take care. Bye.